Yeah.
Somebody's about to die, do Ice Blast, you throw them in the snowball, hold them there for 4 seconds, and maybe that'll be the difference between them dying or not.
Yeah, I like this draft from eHome. It seems to kind of fit their style here. They'll have plenty of opportunities to be aggressive, some good laners, and decent team fight.
They might just run down Ancient Apparition consistently, honestly.
Virtus Pro were the ones to take the Tidehunter. Well, VP is definitely switching up their strategy here, Purge. No doubt about it. When they're up against the wall, they're going to try something different. Tidehunter, he's in kind of an interesting place right now. He's really fallen out of popularity. The offlaners that are really cooldown reliant seem to be a little bit less popular. You know, the Tusks where you can just constantly spam those spells and stay very active are kind of in favor right now. But if this Tide gets some farm, he can still do quite a bit of work.
Yeah. The good Blink ultis can completely change games, especially with the team fight abilities that VP has. They're pretty weak on stuns. But as long as they do a lot of pushing and 5-manning before eHome gets BKBs, then they're absolutely going to be competitive in that sense. They have to worry about Tusk Snowball to dodge things like Ravage, but I think they can do it here. But they need to get the early advantage, I feel. If they get behind, then I think eHome can very easily deal with them. So the early laning stage is huge. FNG or whoever's playing the AA cannot feed because that hero is just going to be absolute food if things go bad.
Yeah, it is FNG that takes the Ancient Apparition. You're absolutely right about that. That puts Lil on the Rubik, Illidan on his Gyro, G will head mid on the Queen of Pain, and DK Phobos playing that Tidehunter. Lil in true Lil fashion, multiple U's on the fun. That's what I'm talking about. Seems to be in good spirits despite the defeat that they suffered in game number 1. The lane setup from eHome also seems to be fairly predictable here. CTY will take the Lina mid, ROTK off lane Tusk, and they'll just do a safe lane try Lanham on the Bounty Hunter to get things started, DDC on the Winter Wyvern, and of course Yang here on the safe lane Razor, who did go boots first, ready to chase him down and stack up that static link.
Lanham walking into the enemy team. Will they have vision on this? Do they see him?
He was pretty darn close. If they didn't.
Oh, do they have a dust?
I don't think so. I don't see one.
That was so weird. They're
trying to hide the sentries. They've got him on the ground here.
They have extra sentries, actually.
Yeah, I think
Unless that was a pooled sentry that FNG is now drawn. I am so confused with their.
I'm not really sure what they're doing here. I thought they were trying to hide the fact that they had sentries to maybe bait him in, but they are already showing on Lil. So, yeah, FNG just has a pooled sentry. Okay.
Will they find him this time?
Oh, got him.
I mean, he's pretty far out. Okay, as long as he's far away from telekinesis, he's fine. Man, he actually almost walked within tower vision, or tower sentry detection. That's why I was so confused by that.
Yeah. If he wasn't, he was riding that line about as close as you can get. They will put one down to block this camp here, and they'll hold on to the other sentries.
They're trying to make Lanham think that they actually block this as well. Look, he puts a sentry down, because they walked over there. They don't know that if it's there or not, but they may now put their sentry down, and therefore they guarantee the D-ward.
Oh, very smart.
But we'll see. Yeah, there it is. And now they can see it. And look, eats the tango, bam, instant. No contesting. It's easily dead. Instead of the 4 or 5 hits it would have taken, bam, they outplay him completely. That was super sick.
That's really smart. There is still one more sentry ward here on the Bounty Hunter. Solana will have one more chance to try and unblock this camp.
They didn't get his observer ward either because they used both sentries. But I don't know if they saw him plant.
All right, some ward battle here in the bottom lane. FNG, he'll rotate towards the mid. Looks like they already want to pressure CTY, and he's pretty low. G's done a lot of damage to him already. This could be the first blood. There's the chilling touch.
Nice
Blink to the high ground, and G secures a victory here in the first minute of the game in the mid lane. Nice rotation.
I don't know if if FNG needed to be there, but what a sick rotation. It's kind of interesting that A can be a useful gank hero, but it helps a lot to have the mobility. Like Queen of Pain being able to blink forward and guarantee those extra auto attacks. I mean, every hit is 50 magic damage. 2 hits is like plenty. That's so much more damage than you would normally get. And it's because attack speed is already pretty low in the early game, the time between attacks is large. And because of that, it doesn't become that much of a deficit.
Well, VP set up these lanes a little bit differently here, though, Purge. They put Illidan in the off lane alongside the Rubik, and that means DK Phobos will have the safe lane to farm on the Tidehunter. That'll secure him at least some early experience, already level 3. And 5 last hits. This is great as long as Illidan can find some decent farm of his own. Looks like eHome doing something similar with ROTK now in the safe lane, rotating Yang up to the off lane.
That was close. G almost died here mid. Oh. But he gets the sentry down, and he's able to kill the enemy sentry. He was trying to trade hits with it, but then CTY went for the face and almost stunned him, but he blink dodged it. He just always has those reads. He's like, oh, he's going to stun me, blink away. I've seen him do that so many times.
Yeah. He is a very experienced mid player after all. All right, Lanham, he gets another set of sentry wards here. Sentry battles continue.
And a lot of heroes top, actually.
Yeah.
DK Phobos going for the typical build. He likes this 2 armor, 1 anchor smash build in case he takes damage.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. Even just going for that ring of protection early on makes him super, super tanky.
It's not very good versus Razor, I think, but on the same vein, Gyrocopter gets a solo against the Tusk on bottom.
Yeah, definitely good news for the Gyro. Not really too much Tusk can do. The nice thing for ROTK, though, is he will get some good experience, as Illidan can't really control the Creep Librium that well. Although he needs to be a little bit careful here. Creep Wave comes in just in the nick of time as Illidan puts out the Rocket Barrage.
He's on a mana now, though.
Yeah, a little close for comfort. Mid, now rotation from Lil. They go on the CTY. Double damage on G. Oh, this is bad news bear for the Lina. Sidesteps the LSA again. G just clowning on CTY. Now to the top lane. Yang pushed back with the chilling touch, but this mid is just going so well for VP.
He's just got his number, man. It's a lot harder to play Lina, honestly, and he has been rotated on both times in CTY's defense. So this is not a pure 1v1 by any means, but in addition to the ganks happening, G is just genuinely playing it well. He's barely dodging the stuns. He's anticipating his opponent's movements, and he got him low in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the double damage rune definitely making things a little bit easier there. DDC now, he's going to be stationed up in the top lane. All things considered, I think this laning phase is going very well for VP. Mid lane aside, the other lane's going quite well also. Illidan topping the network or the last hit chart, and the Tide not doing too shabby, sitting at 13.
Yeah, he's right behind the Razor. I'm really surprised about that.
Seems like eHome just can't quite set up the lanes the way they want. DDC sort of feeling obligated now to rotate mid and support CTY, but if he does that, then up top there's plenty of space for this Tide to get in there and get last hits against the Razor.
And with Ancient Apparition sitting top, I think CTY is probably still scared here. He has to continue to heal himself. Oh, Lil's got a... he breaks the salve. So it's essentially like a 200 damage right-click, something like that. It was most of the way done.
Oh, Courier gets picked off by Lanham. A lot of cargo there. Bottle and boots for G. Also a TP scroll.
That's a big loss, too, because his HP's low right now.
Yeah.
So really good snipe there. And usually not where they expect to see it.
Yeah, usually between the towers, but up top now, Phobos initiated on. Static Link getting a lot of damage here onto Yang. Phobos says, hell, I'm just going to TP home. No way to stop it. Smart play there.
Was that just a walking courier? Because it's like 4 minutes. I can't imagine that. It was flying.
I'm not sure. How can you tell?
It has little wing things. It looks like it's flying.
Oh, okay. I don't really recognize this courier. The Amphibian Kid, maybe he's just got
I'm not
casual
sure.
wings.
It looks like it was flying.
It had to have been out 5 minutes in. I would be shocked if it wasn't
Can Bounty kill that with just Shadow Walk and Janata? Maybe it wasn't moving very fast or something.
Possibly. Maybe they'd used the speed boost already. I saw him stationed there, but I didn't see him actually kill it.
Yeah, me neither.
Not sure. I guess we'll see when it comes back up.
Lil sitting on the bot lane looking to gank, but the Observer Ward's there, so ROTK will adjust to this. No boots on him.
Yep.
There's a few boots on the courier, though. Only
DDC
3.
Stationed up top. Goes into the Arctic Burn, and Yang actually taking a lot of damage here, though he's stealing a lot from FNG. Phobos only level 5, does have 3 points in that Anchor Smash. Rotation now from Lil. If they can close the gap and get a telekinesis, I think they can find a kill here, but they're not going to get in close enough to do it.
That was very close. Unstable current, was that the difference? Who knows? But it was very close. Would have been 175 damage. I don't think he would have died there. He had somewhere around that, and he had armor, obviously. So yeah, only 3, but eh.
ROTK very close to level 6. Always good time for a Tusk. Picking up that regen rune. Lanham now rotating through the mid. He's been pretty quiet this game. The Courier Snipe by far his biggest contribution, but still 0, 0, and 0. But continuing to move around and give his team some intel.
Just watching Lil. It's going to wait to see if they can go on that. As the wave pushes up, maybe they could shift over. It's kind of scary, though. They can't kill G, I don't think, unless they land a stun. It's the only way. And G would back up if he approaches him. I just don't see them being able to get that kill unless he lands it now. And look, every single time he reads him, as soon as he comes forward within stun range, it's obvious he's trying to catch Queen of Pain. And then he goes for the back. Yeah. He just reads him so well.
He really does. Level 7 on the Quap, feeling good. Illidan now rotating to the safe lane. He's picked up Power Treads Bassi. Aquila should be on the horizon here. They'll sack the off lane for now. Tidehunter just kind of moving through the jungle. Phobos 1 camp away from level 6. So perhaps that'll be a time when BP can start utilizing the Tidehunter's Ravage.
It was Sentry Ward's going to find the obs blocking the large
game.
But
they found Lanham. He's in trouble. They've got one sentry down, but they need another. They've got it. Sonic Wave as well to make sure he doesn't get out.
VP and they found another one. That was just to spot the bounty hunter. That's so unlucky for him. It was really good plays from him there to put the observer ward down because it stops the block and it does the block and it also spots out where the junglers are going. But man, and it ends up with him being killed. If he actually just left instead of sticking around, he would have been fine because they thought that it was a body block. They didn't think it was a ward block, which is why they put the scent down. Yeah. And then they got the kill. So really good thought by him, but he probably should have just left.
Musical lanes all over the place, Purge. Now Yang rotating down to the safe lane. So both carries still dodging each other and turning into slightly more predictable lane setup. Who's actually winning this laning phase? No one really. It's been pretty close to a break even. 3-1, but
there are more kills on VP. And Queen of Pain's got 3-0 versus CTY 0-2. But CTY's last hit much better than G has this game for whatever reason. I mean, I guess Lena can farm a little better in the mid lane. She has a much more spammable nuke. She can spam it from safety. And G lost his bottle at a pretty critical moment. So that was a big issue as well.
Yeah, that really hurt. His boots as well. One thing that VP is doing very well, though, is not feeding the bounty hunter. You and I have talked about this a lot. One of the best ways to deal with him is just not get hyper-aggressive. Don't give him any undue XP or gold because he'll use it to snowball. And so far, so good on that front. That snowball is not rolling.
All he did was snipe the courier and die.
Which was huge, but
he put some wards down. I mean, he's still doing fine. Honestly, that one death is completely excusable. You will die sometimes when you play bounty hunter.
Oh, yeah. And again, that's more a testament to how well VP have been positioning, not overcommitting and rotating these lanes rather than Lanham being out of position. He hasn't really had too many opportunities to find kills yet.
I like the build FNG's going. It's the Max Ice Vortex build. Just accelerates your team's damage because he doesn't